God has said, I will prepare for you a table amongst your enemies. Somebody tried to come for me and I had not sent for them. Give you my mom's number so that you can ask her directly if I have ever cared. Something very unhinged here. I don't know if I should tell you guys. Top of the mornings. How are you doing today? Welcome back to our channel. My name is Marie Akanga. If you're new here, what we do in this channel is we create content about lifestyle, travel, girlhood, and self-development. And today we are doing the self-development part of the channel. So you might want to grab a drink. You might want to take a coffee. If you're not going to take the coffee, go straight to gin, because I'm going to ruffle some feathers. Give you my mom's number so that you can ask her directly if I have ever cared. In fact, since I've came in here into this world in 96, I just started running. I just went on. We've not stopped for water or anything. God has been holding my hand and we've just been going. Please subscribe to this channel. I know you like what we do here. So what we are talking about today, we are talking about what has this next level asked of me. What has it required? In fact, what has it demanded? Because sometimes it's not asking you politely, can you please just work hard? Sometimes life just demands for you to do what you need to do. Let's get straight into it. All this started with inner self-work. I won't go back into it so much. You can just really go back and watch the train of videos that have been there about emotions, about my former job, about the vlogs. There's just so much content about who I have been since I moved out. The first video in this channel is moving up, moving out, moving on, and moving up. You might want to go and watch that. Marie, that was, I like to call her Marie 2.0. The person I am today, I like to think of myself as Marie 3.0. This is a new version. I'm here to insult you. Some of you might feel insulted, and if you feel insulted, check yourself and ask yourself, why am I feeling some type of way about the truth? Okay, so what has this new version of Marie demanded of her? And please apply this to yourself, because sometimes I am not only advising myself with my own advice, I'm also advising you with what I also need as advice. So number one, you've got to be a shark. You and me, we have to be sharks, because you know why? That's the only way to survive. That's the only way to survive. And you know what happens sometimes when a shark starts bleeding? Other sharks around it eat it. Hakuna ati sasa zinakuja zinaanza kubembeleza, oh little shark, are you hurt? Do you need a band-aid? No, they eat that other shark. That's what they do. So you've got to be a shark, and if you see another shark is imekaa mbaya, unakula hiyo shark. Okay, so there's no time for mercy. There's no time to be a victim. There's no time to cry. You just have to start running. Once you see that you've hit a wall, you better knock that wall down. I don't know what you're gonna do, but you have to keep going. I used to say you need 5 minutes to cry, and then you can continue being gangster, but even that 5 minutes you think you have to cry, you don't have it. You don't have 5 minutes to cry. You just have to keep going. There's no time to be a victim. You just have to start running, because once the other sharks around you notice that you're bleeding, they're gonna eat you. They will eat you. And do you want to be eaten? I'm sure you don't. All right. You gotta do what you have to do. So, long time back, I think this was 2022, sometime back when I was little Marie, I decided to start my YouTube channel. And I started this channel because the work I was doing allowed me to travel a lot. I was able to go to places like Amboseli, Samburu, Masai Mara, Nakuru, all these interesting places that you want to visit in Kenya. And I knew I have to document it. I knew I have to actually have a visual diary, so that if not for anything, I can come back and watch how life used to be. And sometimes I go back and watch those videos just to remind myself of what that experience is. And sometimes it even helps me to sell, because I'll remember what it was like to be in that place, although it's very hard to forget once you visit. Somewhere like Samburu, if you go to Samburu, it's very hard for you to forget, but getting that first-hand experience is very important. And sometimes just taking pictures of you in a certain place, of that particular place, will serve as a reminder of what life has been. So just being able to create that visual diary has kind of helped me to kind of maneuver some tough spots. It's not every day that you have the strength to just run. Sometimes you actually have to grab those 5 minutes, even if you don't have them. You grab them, you stay down a bit. When you find yourself in rock bottom, sometimes you have to stay down and then gather what you need to gather from rock bottom and then start running again. And this brings me to my second point. My second point being, sometimes you have to sit in the discomfort, my dear. You have to sit in the discomfort because there's a lot of lessons that you're going to learn from discomfort. That's why I'm saying sometimes if you find yourself in rock bottom, there are things you can literally learn from every situation if you allow yourself to. You can learn from everything, you can learn from anybody. So make sure that you're just not just there. Sometimes you need to learn from other people's mistakes. And there's no shortage of mistakes around, especially if you're surrounded by some people. There's no shortage of mistakes. So you need to not only learn from your own mistakes, learn from other people's mistakes as well. And if you have like people like me who will come here and tell you and show you our scars, make sure you be taking notes so that you don't experience the same things. So when I tell you that I allowed some things to happen in my former workplace, which is why I found myself in the position I was, listen very keenly so that you don't find yourself in the same position. Okay. So sometimes even, they say God will prepare for you a table amongst your enemies. And then you don't want to sit there with your enemies. So where do you want God to prepare the table? God has said, I will prepare for you a table amongst your enemies. And you don't want to sit with your enemies where God is preparing for you. What's wrong with you? Sometimes there's lessons that can only be learned through discomfort. And sometimes even you don't know you're sitting amongst your enemies because you think your enemies are your friends, like what was the case for me. So wherever position you find yourself, you just have to start learning from that position immediately. Be steady about it. Start learning. Yeah, it might be very uncomfortable. You might have to cry sometimes, but you know what? You develop a strong backbone and you continue going, until when it's actually time to leave. And you will know, you always know, especially as a woman, we have intuition. You know when it's time to leave. So when it's time to leave, when it's time to jump off the cliff, then you need to jump. Okay. Yeah. So some lessons can only be learned by sitting in the discomfort. So don't run away before it's actually time that you've picked up everything that you need to pick. And you will know when it's time to go. And if you don't know, please go back and watch my videos. I've also given you all the signs of when to leave. Yeah. Going into the next one, make sure you're a worthy opponent. I could leave it at that, but why should I? Seasons in your career that you need to do more than is required of you. There's seasons that even in your relationship you need to do more than is required. Even there's seasons in parenthood. There's different seasons that will require more of you than you think is fair. Sometimes you must just do what is needed. So especially when you're starting out, especially in the first 5 years of I've been working, I think, for the last 5-6 years, and that is a very critical season because that's when you learn the most things. That's when at least you're teachable, you're flexible to take in information. So during that season of your life, I would say learn as much as you can. That season between 23, 24 there and 30, that's when you learn everything you need to learn at the job. Those first 2-3 jobs, that's where you learn a lot of things that you need to learn. So be open to learning as much as you can. I don't know what your situation is, but you just have to be open to learning, and sometimes open to stretching as much as you can stretch. So at least also, if you stretch as much as you can, you know where your limits are. All right. So for me, I don't regret working tirelessly, but that's what has even been able to show me how much I'll be able to put into my business right now. And even as I was saying, you see, my business right now is requiring more of me than it's giving back to me. Like sometimes I have to take from my savings to kind of invest in the business. Sometimes when I make money, I have to put more into the business than what I give back to myself. So some seasons require much more of you. So right now, my business is very small. It needs more from me than what it's gonna give me. So essentially, that's what I'm talking about. All right. All right. Yeah. And I wrote something very unhinged here. I don't know if I should tell you guys. You know what? I'm going to tell you guys this story. A few weeks ago, something crazy happened. Like something I didn't think would happen. See, my business is 6 months. Well, five, let's say, let's just round it up to 6 months right now. This is since it's been operational. There was some months there that I had to kind of go into the development processes and all that, but fully running, Trailmax has existed for the last 6 months. Now, tell me why my 6 month old baby is competing with a 4 year old. A 4 year old sees my baby with a sweet and is trying to snatch a sweet away from my baby. Me, by there, I'm going to be a ruthless mom. You're not going to do whatever you want with my kid. You not do whatever you want with my kid. Okay. You teach your kid manners. So I had this client, and a lot of my clients sometimes reach out to me and think I still work for company I used to work for, and I usually always, first of all, I always explain within the first 10-15 minutes of talking. I let them say what they're gonna say, and then I explain that I don't work there anymore. If you still want me to give you a quotation for that, I'm gonna give it to you under my own company. And I honestly, I don't bash the company in front of clients or anything. I'm proper. I'm very educated. You guys know that I'm very educated. I don't go and bash other people's companies that, that company has this, has that, there was this, there was that. I just politely usually say, I don't work there anymore. I started my own company. So this, and that. So tell me why these people are actually, they want to go to the mad. Bitches are trying to act funny. You know, I might be Marie 3.0 right now, but I have not forgotten Marie 1.0 and Marie 2.0. And in fact, I thank them because they carried me to Marie 3.0. So I can be very quick to check in you. And just be sure to not try me again. I know what you said. And you know what? The client came and told me everything. And they told you, sorry, we are going to still go with Marie. And yeah. So, and you tried so much to tell the client a lot of things, but the client was like, no, we actually just prefer what Marie gave us. And you could have left it at that, but you felt the need to kind of try and tarnish my name. And that just, you know what that tells me is that I am a worthy opponent. So that's the final boss of being a worthy opponent. You understand? Because my 6 month old baby cannot take things from your 4 year old baby. I'm sure you're getting so many more referrals that are coming from past clients, but I get this one referral and then you want to kind of yank it away from me. You leave my chain alone. Let me not say more than that. So that was be a worthy opponent. I've told you final boss of worthy opponent. Now, the next thing is choose a worthy opponent. Other than being a worthy opponent, make sure you choose worthy opponents. Now you cannot be going down to the mud with everybody. Some people, if both of you now start fighting there in the mud, both of you look like pigs. And Mimi, I'm not a pig. I will just take you to court. I'm not going to fight with you. You know what? I still have all the evidence. I have all the documentation. Now let's tell you guys, if you think you're being treated poorly in a situation, especially that is employment situation, start documenting things and saving things because you might need them. You never know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'll need them. If you guys want to act funny, we can be hilarious. Okay. So I was saying choosing a worthy opponent. And this one, let me give a story. And I have posted this content, I think sometime 2 years back. Somebody tried to come for me and I had not sent for them. Do not come for me if I've not sent for you. I might not do some things, but what you're not gonna do is try and play with me. So my job was very demanding that sometimes I would start like at 5 a.m, 6 a.m, 7 a.m. Sometimes I would go to the gym and have to meet clients like straight after the gym. I've not even gotten a chance to like go and freshen up or anything, and that's within my personal time. But just because the teacher me, I just honestly, and I used to enjoy doing that work in the morning so much because I could go and grab a cup of coffee, or matcha was not in that time. I wish matcha was in, I don't know, but me, siju kanini, it doesn't look like matcha tastes nice. You guys tell me if matcha tastes nice. I don't know. I've never had it. So, uh, then I remember that day I was handling a very big client, and the amount of money I had collected that day was a lot. I could not go back to my house. I could not go back to my house with that money. I would risk like watu wanze kunifuata nini. I was actually scared. So me, what I decided, and then I could not bank all that money as well. So I decided I'm gonna take it straight to the director's house. So pulling up to my director's house, the director's wife had an issue with me. And instead of dealing with your husband, me, I'm not there even in your marriage. And then now you came and started picking on me because you thought, oh, she's the one, the two, or the three. Huh? Let me tell you something. I'm very outspoken. I live my life very, like, I'm very social media oriented. So somebody can just go on my Instagram and see what I'm doing and be like, oh, my husband would like a girl like this. Please, the problem you have is not with me. It's with your husband. Battle with your husband. So what I do that in that me, by the way, Ali need to me a text akini to see. Maybe like I don't even understand where this is coming from. What I ended up doing in that situation is I did not argue with her because there was no winning in that situation. So me, first of all, I wrote a corporate email and expressed that I was being that is actually assault, to a certain extent, and that is somebody trying to, I don't remember what the wording were, but I wrote an email to all my superiors and I explained what had happened and I attached screenshots of the messages I had been sent, and that was to serve as a last warning because I was going to bring in somebody to work under me who would be a girl, and I wouldn't want her to experience such kinds of things with other people's wives because a lot of people who work there will be men. So if everybody starts speaking on this girl will never build her career. And some of us actually are interested in building our careers and we don't shit where we eat. I could never have done that, but just by the fact that somebody would think I would do that. If I was to run game on you, I would run a proper game. But I don't want your husband, and I also don't even know why you want him. That is a fight that you don't want to get into. There's no winning in that fight. I could have chosen to go back and forth with her and tuanze kutusiana or nianze kuji-explain or nini, but it would not have been worth it. I had to go through HR and seek proper redress and all that. So again, if you guys want to come for me, I have the email still. If you guys want to be funny, we can be hilarious. Last but not least, so that was choose a worthy opponent. That was not a worthy opponent. So number 6, you have to become everyone's problem. You heard me correctly. They want to make you a problem, become a problem. What I mean when I say become everyone's problem is this. Of course, you cannot now start playing a victim. By the time the office politics is sitting in, watu wataanza kukusideline. They will not invite you to meetings, but they'll expect you to know what was discussed in the meeting and to produce timely results to a meeting that you are not invited to. Bro, if you want to exclude me, please exclude me. I have never cared since 1996. Become everyone's problem because being a victim it's not a pretty picture at Making all. Making you the problem usually keeps them safe from taking accountability of what they've actually done to you, of all the harm that has come to you while you're dispensing your duties. So that is usually the first or second approach that they'll take. They'll try to tell you, oh, everybody has a problem with you. And for me, actually, they told me everybody had a problem with me. And I wrote a list of everyone and I asked, what problem does this person have with me? What problem does this person... Some of them, kuna nyata nilikuwa naambiwa, and I'm telling you this verbatim, you articulate yourself very well, so this person finds it hard to talk to you, and yeah, so that makes me a problem. Make it make sense, to be honest. So usually when people start treating you like that, they want you to shrink. So be very careful to not shrink in such environment, because that's actually the type of reaction they're looking for. And me, the way I'm set up, I am not set up in a manner that can allow shrinkage. What you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to choke. Okay? Yeah. So all in all, like, I could have stayed and fought and I could have shrunk. But like, mi niliangalia tu hivi na nikaona, this is somebody's company and I cannot win hapo. There was nothing left to win. So I sat there I took all the lessons that I needed to take. I learned everything that I needed to learn. I set up systems that would work for me, and then I stepped out when I needed to step out. All I'm saying is that you need to be very honest with yourself. You need to assess where you are at, and you need to know what you need to do next. And you always need to know what to do next. You cannot just sit there and just be comfortable with the reality. Like, the only constant thing about life is it's gonna change. And make sure when the tides of change come, that you're strong enough to take whatever it is that it'll throw at you. Yeah, you have to be a shark. You've gotta be a shark, baby girl. For me, that's some of the things that I had to kind of become to be the version of myself that I am today. And a lot of these are very much to do with my career. Before I go, before I go, guys, we have something interesting, exciting coming up exactly 1 month from now. Probably when you're watching this video, it'll be 1 month from now. The Baby Girl Retreat 3.0 is coming. We went for the second one. It was lit like a motherfucking teat. Do you understand? It was so lit. So the girls were like, hey, Shmari, when are we going for the next one? You know, the state of Kenya right now, it's tricky, but it's annoying, and we need something to look forward to. And I told them, here, hold my pass. Hold my pass. And we are going for another baby girl retreat. Okay? And this time we're taking a cabin surrounded by trees, surrounded by nature, some rivers flowing, some, oh my God, I don't want to describe it all, and just, you guys will see. If you're not going to join us, you'll just always live to hear the stories of afterwards. So we are going down to Mount Kenya on 27th June. And fun fact is, that's the only place where they have not been. So I'm taking this off my bucket list for the first time as well. And I'm going to be surrounded by the most amazing ladies. So everybody that was there on Baby Girl Retreat 2.0 is coming. And we even have some few new members that are going to be there. And we still have some slots that are open. So you have a chance to join us. It's going to be so lit. We're going to have a game drive. We're going to have a throwdown barbecue party. We're going to have some drinks. We are going to have some vibes, music, dancing. And let me tell you, the crew that we have on the Baby Girl Retreat 2.0, they were so lit. Everybody alikuwa amekuja na vibe yake. Unajua, the first few tukitoka Nairobi hivi, like, watu bado wako wamezoeana. By the time tulikuwa tunafika Tilisi. You guys know Tilisi? Like, hapo tu after Kikuyu, watu walikuwa wameanza kuzoeana, tukuwa tumecheza mangoma, wase wame wase wameanza ku light up. Hey, people were like, yo, the vibes are tea. By the time tulikuwa tunafika Naivasha, everybody was friends. Not even lying to you, like, we had a time on 2.0. Sasa imagine 3.0. As in, the baby girls, they've already paid. As in, I didn't even have to tell them twice. So I'm like, okay, where are we going? We are going there. Okay, how much is it? It's this much. Sawa. That is 3.0. 4.0 is also happening this year. Like, this is my wildest dreams. Like, even before I left my former workplace, I didn't know much about what I was going to do, but I knew this concept I have of Baby Girl Retreat, it must fly high. Like, that's the only thing I knew. By the way, hata sikuwa najua ati what my company would be called. I didn't know much, but I knew I wanted to create a group for women to travel together, to feel safe traveling together, especially solo travelers joining and going through these journeys together. And right now we've already done one. Eventually we want to go to bigger destinations like South Africa, Dubai, Morocco, like USA, London, Paris. I mean, we're going to go all over the world. And even we were talking about it the other day with one of the girls, and we're like, 5 years from now, like, some of us will have very different lives, probably will be moms and all that, but then we'll still have our little WhatsApp group, and we'll be like posting. I'll be like posting and be like, okay, girls, next month or 2 months from now, we are going to, Ethiopia. And then life itakuwa ina kugonganisha, maybe or not, inshallah kwanza, or not, life will be great. And then you'll have something to look forward to, and you'll always have that travel, bag in you, that you're not just staying in one place, you're always traveling, So, I mean, I'm just so excited for the destinations that we have not yet explored. I'm so in love with cities that we've not yet done, because we are about to do a lot more. We are going to explore as much as we can of Kenya, and scratch the surface completely and even dig deep and grow roots in some of these places, you know. And then before you know it, we'll be going into Africa, we'll be going into other parts of the world. So I would really love you to join us. I would really love you to join us before we go too far. And then sasa everybody atakuwa amezoeana na wewe utakuwa unatujua. I mean, but you know, you can sit with us. We'll always welcome you. But I would love for you to be a part of this story from the start. Like, I'm living my dream and I'm not doing it alone. I'm doing it with some amazing ladies. And one of the best things that happens every time we go for the baby girl retreat is we always sit and talk. Last time we were talking till like around 3 a.m. in the morning, and stories are just flowing. We are talking about our businesses, we are talking about investments, we are talking about relationships, we are talking about, you know, all these things. And like, it's so amazing to be surrounded by women who want a lot for their lives, by women who want to take a lot more on their plate and learn how to chew it. So you are one of those women that we need, and I cannot stress this enough. You really do not want to miss this. So go on to my Instagram page. You're gonna see all the details, and it's still a one night this time. So yeah, join us, join us, join us. I cannot stress this enough. So that being said, I'm gonna love you and leave you, and I'll see you on the next one for sure. Bye. Mwah.